I'm unmuted, but I can't hear you. Hello, hello, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Thank you.
Oh, now I got I have my speaker off. I need to fix it on this end. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay, I giving up on the tablet. I thought I used the tablet instead of the computer because I'm not really where there's any Wi-Fi. The tablet really is my Wi-Fi, but apparently it's working with the computer. So we'll just move ahead at this point with what's working. Looks like we have other. Oh, there's 3 participants because there's 2 of me. All right. Well, I'll let the other one record us then, I guess, while I'm talking through this one. Now the chat is not part of the recording because it's a public meeting. We record the meeting, but normally what I do is I don't post anything that is said before it's called to order or after we adjourn. So it has not been called to order yet. As soon as I say this is meeting's called to order, anything after that would be shareable.
Okay.
Right now, anybody who's in Zoom, which is really right now myself and you, would hear the meeting. And now we have 3 of the CAC members present. On my left, we have Gregory Creswell, the secretary, and on my right is Sandra Turner Handy. No, I'm Jocelyn Harris. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I wasn't looking. Hi, Jocelyn. I'm so sorry. It's Jocelyn Harris. Jocelyn Harris, our senior issues representative. Sorry, Jocelyn. I was like looking here. You walked up behind me. Okay. And there, I don't know, the other people, actually Karen Knox and Sandra Turner Handy were instrumental in deciding to pick this location for the meeting. And so I was hoping to see them really soon, or to have them check in with us some other way. It is starting to drizzle outside, so it's probably going to put a damper on things. Thank you for getting here in spite of the weather. Yeah, Ms. Harris is here with us though, and Ms. V. Hamilton is in attendance. So welcome to the meeting. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and attempt to share a document here. Let me see how well this works out. Fortunately, things seem to be working at the moment. And right now, oh, that's definitely not what I intended to share. There's something else I have. Let me go back. Trying to share the correct document. I'm sharing some other document. I don't know how I do this. Document 2. Let me try this again. Document 2. There it is. Okay. Now you should be able to see the agenda.
Yes.
Okay. And if I don't hear you well, pardon me, but it's my, actually, I do think I can turn up the volume a little more in here. Maybe I can. Apparently this computer does not get real loud. No, it's all the way up. Okay. So and I had an amplification system last time, but we don't have the electronics here for that. So anyway, at this point, I will call the meeting to order. It is 7:17 p.m. And so first part is introduction of if we have a new youth member appointee, whom we do not. Next, introduction of city council representative or council member Spivey, and none are here. Then the introduction of guests, and so Ms. Hamilton, welcome to the meeting. And it's V. Hamilton.
He's gonna.
H. I don't like the president.
Hello.
Oh, and we now have a quorum. Let me just get here. I need to open up. Do you really need to spell it? Okay, yeah, you do. Okay, it's Hamilton. Ilton.
Oh, Hamilton. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's a play now with that title.
Oh.
Okay. And so, yes. And so now, so we have, I'm going to go back to my document that I'm sharing here, which is document 2. Okay. So, the next item here, introduction of guests and elected officials. So V. Hamilton's a guest, and the elected officials are myself, Scotty Boman, Gregory Creswell, who's secretary, I'm chair, and now Sandra Turner Handy is here, appointee, member of the Community Advisory Council, and also Jocelyn Harris, who is senior issues representative, member of the Community Advisory Council. We have a quorum requirement, or the chart, actually the city ordinance has a quorum requirement of 4 members, and we have 4 members, so this is indeed an official meeting with bindable votes possible. Okay, so that takes us to item 2, adoption of the agenda. Now, I know I don't have paper copies, so I'm just going to read off what we have here, and you can tell me if there's something you think we should add or remove. There'll be a matter of minutes, and that means I might have to kind of read through them. Did you get the copy I emailed you earlier? Did you have a chance to look at them?
I did.
You did.
Yes.
And did you? Oh, you got a copy. You have a hard copy. You can even pass them around.
No, this is the one for the 12th
Okay.
and the 26th.
That's why. That's what it'd be.
Okay.
12 and 26. That's
All right.
perfect. Okay. And okay, so we'd have that, and then there'd be presentations, and the group Coalition for Property Tax Justice, I guess they didn't realize that our meetings were at a specific time and day, which is the second Monday of each month at 7 p.m. So they didn't realize that they had a chance to present today, because they were unable to make it to the last one. So now that they know that, they'll probably be at our next meeting. Let's see, and B, members and council representative encouraged to, okay, I always put that on there, that if people want to have a presentation, it's good to let us know ahead of time. So what that would take us to unfinished business. And what we were doing, we had actually called a special meeting on the 26th to plan a news conference concerning the availability of side lots and the apparent unfairness of that availability on the north side of I-94 in District 4, which went into choosing this location for a meeting. So that I have categorized under unfinished business since we started it at a previous meeting. We have then after that on the agenda would be current community concerns and plans of action. I have under here, member has not been appointed. That's actually old and I probably could have removed that. Actually, that's one thing I guess I could suggest. May I remove the part about, but we already did our little press release and complaint about the lack of the youth member. Okay, so I'm gonna strike that. I'm striking, actually, it wasn't even an item. It was like, it was just under unfinished business. I'm just pulling it off there because that business was finished. I did put out a press release involving our resolution that we had composed, and Council Member Spivey, I assume, received a copy. I don't know if he read it because he didn't reply. And then we have new business, which is item 6. And I don't know, actually right now, does anyone want to propose any new business for me to stick on here right now?
Yeah, I'm always, hello, everyone.
Yes, Ms. Harris, yes.
I'm gonna make sure I put on the agenda the issue of flooding.
Okay, very good one. Especially timely, we even have rain to back that up right now.
Yeah, look at the park.
Yeah,
It's good and blood.
okay, and
Come over here to here.
just gonna there, you just put flooding and we can elaborate later, or do you want me to put something in there particular right now?
Well, there's a lack of coordination. There's very little coordination. Residents are really
Resources.
fending for themselves and getting information as it trickles in.
Okay,
So,
Lack of coordination of resources and information.
I got it, of resources and information. Okay, and then after that are reports, and really once we do the minutes and go over the agenda, there really isn't much in the way of reports unless someone here has one that I'm not aware of. Okay, after that we have the planning our next meeting, which, and I stuck on the agenda. That's funny, this is like I copy and paste old things. I put in August 9th, obviously not. I believe that'll be September the 13th.
I do have an update on the land issue over here.
Oh, excellent. Because hoping we'd have a little more on that. Because I noticed I didn't get any emails or any texts or anything like that about it.
I
So.
met with the mayor.
Oh, fabulous. Okay, well that ought to be quite enlightening.
Zoom or face to face? Face to face.
All right.
In our small park over here. Our
Okay.
little kids park. He came over. He stayed for a good hour and something.
Oh, very
He
good.
met with 10 community leaders, and lack of available land and side lots to residents was one of our big topics.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Senator Turner Handy was sharing with us that she had spoken with the mayor. What date was that?
July 30th.
On July 30th of July 30th.
when the 31st. What was that Friday? Whatever that Friday.
It was on a Friday.
The 7th, 8th. So it had to be July 31st. August 1st. Whatever that Friday was.
I'm looking up here. The Friday was the 30th.
Okay.
So your first instinct was right, which is usually the case, I understand. Usually when people first guess or assume something, they're right, and then they try to correct or hedge it later, and it's usually wrong. unless they have some other, source that's really strongly supporting. Anyway, okay, so anything else on the agenda? Any of the members here wish to bring up? Okay, and I think we either have another guest or another member showing up. Actually, I think that's Zelda.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's
it's a guest.
Zelda.
Yes.
Zelda saw that water on that other side. Come over to the sidewalk. You ain't got to walk through the wet grass.
Yeah, I parked where I did walk over. I had walked around a lake or something.
I'm so used to it now. When it rains, this park floods. You got an
Yep.
underground water filtration system that's supposed to suck the water down.
Yeah.
That does not work.
Yeah, I think there's something to that. We obviously have an issue with water in general, more so than in the
area,
past,
yeah,
it seems.
climate change.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
It's real.
yeah. Apparently, it affects the plumbing. Climate of the plumbing change. Okay, so hi Zelda, how you doing here?
Hey,
All right.
Zelda, you made it.
Okay, so we have another guest at our meeting, Zelda Anderson. Very much into Warner Brothers, I see.
You made it. Come on.
Okay, so we'll keep going then. Okay, so at this point then it's been called to order. If there's no, I need a motion to accept the agenda as written.
When did you call the meeting to order?
A few minutes ago. It's been okay, so it's been seconded by Jocelyn Harris and moved by Gregory Creswell to accept the agenda as written. Okay, any discussion on that?
Second by who?
By
Jocelyn Harris. If there's no there being no objection, we can just move forward to a vote. All those in favor of accepting the agenda as written? Opposed? Okay, so the motion carries, and with all due respect to guests, only sworn members really have a vote on these motions. But okay, so next we have okay, so moving forward then we have the adoption. Okay, approval of prior minutes, and again I didn't go by the copy
You
place.
want me to read them out?
Oh, if you'd like to, that'd be fabulous.
You got a copy of them, right?
Yeah, which one?
We just got to adopt last month's minutes because we did the prior 2 months at the last
Right.
meeting.
Okay, we have 12.
Yeah, we have 2 July minutes because we had a special meeting and we
meeting.
had a July meeting,
Okay.
correct?
District 4 Advisory Council minutes for July 12th, 2021. The meeting was called to order at 7:12 p.m. Present was Scotty Boman, Gregory Creswell, Sandra Turner Handy, Karen Knox, Bradley Merrill, CAC District 4, Spivey's office. I'm gonna put that in. Zelda Anderson, AJ Jordan, and Donna M. Approval of agenda was moved by Sandra Turner Handy, second by Gregory Creswell. Motion to amend agenda to include removal of plan presentation by Coalition for Property Tax Justice because they couldn't attend. It was approved. Motion to approve amended agenda by Sandra Turner Handy, second by Gregory Creswell, approved. Motion to adopt minutes from May 2021 meeting by Sandra Turner Handy, second by Karen Knox, motion passed. Motion to adopt minutes from June 2021 meeting by Gregory Creswell, second by Sandra Turner Handy, motion passed. Comments made. Detroit government has claim forms ready. FEMA has claim forms ready. Detroit government has staffers arrive at home to take pictures. Detroit Water Department has a Facebook page. Homeowners will not receive a ticket for late bulk pickup. Detroit government is offering volunteers to clean up people's basements. Neighborhood groups are helping too. Some homeowners have DTE appliance protection coverage. Detroit has about 50,000 empty lots. There's a conflict of interest as it pertains to city government and real estate company. There's a motion to accept the resolution. Motion by Gregory Creswell, second by Scotty Boman. Vote to amend resolution. Motion by Gregory Creswell, second by Sandra Turner Handy. Motion proclaiming the land bank must allow residents living north of I-94 the equal rights to purchase as those south of I-94. Agreement to hold a meeting to address side lot issues and plan a news conference on January 26th via Zoom, and I am hoping that date is incorrect. So we're gonna have to amend that date.
Oh my God.
It says January 26th.
Yeah, and that was actually July 26th, and we did have the meeting.
Right. So we will amend that to
Thank
reflect
you.
July instead of January.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Next
That's why
regular
we do
meeting
this,
scheduled
right?
for August 9th at Skinner Park.
Which, yeah. So, and this is the next regular meeting, but we have the special meeting, which I somehow put down a different J month. We have 3 months with J, and
So
at least
we
that one was the most blatantly wrong.
So we need to make a motion to accept these minutes with the amended date.
And if there's any other suggested amendments to those minutes, are there any other
We
things that need to be
should say-
fixing?
That should actually say agreement to hold a special meeting to address side lot issues.
Absolutely.
Because that's how it reads on the next set of minutes.
Yeah, and it is a special meeting. It actually, there's meaning to that. It makes a difference. There's rules about it. So that's important. Okay. Anything else about those old minutes that anyone would like to suggest from what you could hear or recall? Okay. Is there a motion regarding those minutes
Motion to accept the minutes
as amended?
as amended.
Okay, just asking. Yes? Any
I'll
second?
second the motion.
Okay, Sandra Turner Handy seconds the motion. Okay, so that we now have gotten to that point. We've dealt with the minutes. And I'm gonna,
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on.
no problem.
Okay, hey, fellas. Now, y'all know this stage is not made to ride bikes down the steps. Because if y'all hurt yourself, guess who's
We have
gonna
some
pay?
youth guests at the meeting on their bicycles. Not youth members, but we have youth guests. Okay. And here, I'm going to reopen this thing now to go to the next. We have now, I'm trying to open this. We got the other minutes, and so I'm going to open the other minutes. That's what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to go to the minutes from the special meeting, which we now need to run past, fix whatever we need to do with them. And I just opened that up. And I'm going to share that as well. Hopefully this all works out properly. Window. And I'm trying to read this kind of backwards. Oh yeah, see where I am. Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Sorry, I just had to handle that.
And thank you. That was important to make sure
Absolutely.
that the guests attending the meeting
Okay.
act
So do I
appropriately.
need to find out where you young people live at and talk to your parents?
How can you do that?
Oh, baby, I got a car. I will follow you home. And I will tell your mother that you're being disrespectful and you will not be allowed back in the park.
And you're on video.
You will not be allowed back in the park. And if you want me to show you that I do have the authority, my name is right up on that sign.
You on video.
Okay? So don't ride the bikes on the stage, guys, because you'll tear up the stage, okay? And we use that for parties and stuff here in the park, okay? We have to take care of our own stuff. And y'all need to learn to take care of what's here for y'all. That's right, baby. Take care of your park. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Okay.
Okay, you do the same and y'all be safe, okay, baby? Okay.
The next order of business was the next meeting that we had.
Okay.
And I'm gonna scroll this down a little bit. We had,
We didn't vote on the, we didn't vote.
oh, we didn't vote
I
on the last
gotta
one?
read 'em.
We just had a move?
I gotta read. We voted on the regular minute.
Right.
Okay, it was voted by, voted, yeah.
Was there a
No,
vote?
there was no vote.
There was no vote. All right, let's,
Oh, we gotta do the aye.
okay,
Right.
so there were motions. If there's no objection, we'll go from the motion to, and to accept in the second to a vote. And I'm sorry for being
To
out of
accept
order.
the minutes as amended.
From the regular meeting on July 12th.
It was second by Sandra, but it was not voted on.
And you moved it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
all right, so all in favor of accepting the July 12th minutes as amended, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passed. So now the next item on the agenda was the July 26th special meeting, and this is what I got in my notes. Had a called it to order. And in attendance, we had Donna M., Sandra Turner Handy, Zelda Anderson, Karen Knox, and myself. Apparently, I say not a quorum. Let me go through that. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't.
It wasn't a quorum.
There was three of us. And so we had an informal planning meeting continued. Item A, we had the introduction of additional appointee. Oh, still no youth member. B, introduction of city council representative Andre Spivey's representative. Looks like that person was absent. And we were the only elected officials, those of us who were. Adoption of agenda was, oh, I'm just reading this thing. That's just done. That's what we did. We adopted the agenda. We approved the prior meeting minutes because we did go over the May and June.
No.
Or no, we did not.
No. Those were the minutes from the meeting on the 12th, but we couldn't formally
Because we
vote
were
on because
not
we didn't have a quorum and it was a special meeting.
right for a purpose. You're correct. Okay, so let me make that part clear. Yeah. I'm putting here, not done due to lack of a quorum and it being a special meeting. So for both those reasons, okay. So that's what happened with that. Now, under hearings, presentations, hearings, and discussions, item 4. Okay, and that the purpose, we went right to the purpose of our meeting, which was we focused on the disproportionate side lot issue. Karen Knox said the land bank was not maintaining property, but making purchases difficult for potential buyers. Sandra Turner Handy said the hardest hit fund was lien. Lot behind was not listed. I guess lot behind you was not listed as for sale. Maple Ridge Community, which I
Which
had.
is the community right on the other side of Kelly.
Yeah, the way I have it is it's surrounded by Kelly, Gratiot, Houston, Whittier, 7 Mile. Okay. In G7 boundary. Oh, that must have been. I put G7 boundary. I don't know why I put that.
I think I talked about the G7.
Ah,
That the Maple Ridge community is within those boundaries of the G7.
okay. And neighborhood stabilization via banks. Land bank says She must pay hardest hit fund to purchase houses. Is that to you?
Yeah.
Okay, because yeah, I'm not gonna make sure. I'm gonna put Sandra.
They're selling it as a market value.
And it takes 5 years for it to go down to become the $100 lot.
I'm not clear what you all are saying. I'm trying to pick it up. Because I'm hearing you say the issue was sidewalks. You said that.
No, the issue is property, period.
Okay.
The purchase a lot.
Purchasing property and or side lots or lots in the area, this area, on this side of 94. They're not putting up the lots and property for sale. And our concern is that they had, because we have the most contiguous vacant land over here. And our concern was that they had a plan to give it, holding it for development.
Making it develop this area.
Yeah,
That's been the plan.
yeah.
Yep.
So that was the reason for the special meeting, was to talk about how residents over here are unable to get land or purchase property. Karen Knox has been trying to purchase a land bank property that sits in her community, and they won't let her purchase it.
Now I have something about $12,000 here, but I'm unclear what that is. I just had that.
Oh, that
That was
$12,000 is the hardest hit fund lien on the property, on the lot.
Okay.
They tore down 2 houses in front of me. And my neighbor got a card that said that she could purchase the lot, because I told her to purchase the lot. But when I went on and I gave them those 2 addresses, they told me there is a hardest hit fund lien on the property. Since the hardest hit fund tore down, demolished the houses, there's a lien on those lots for 5 years. Each year it goes down a certain percentage till it gets down to the $100.
Okay.
So the lot was like $12,000. And one lot was like $15,000 or something.
They want to sell it as a market
So
value.
I'll tell y'all what the mayor said after we approved these minutes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And this
Okay.
is a-
Next, there was a mention of proposal. Sorry.
No,
Ms. Harris?
no, I'm just saying, so you got a document that said that there was a lien on the property?
Yes, I got the email back from the land bank.
Oh, okay. So that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, now.
So that's just an example
Of
that
how,
what's
yeah.
happening in this.
And I live in back of me, the whole block is vacant. Except for 2 houses at the corner of Hayes. But all the property is vacant. I was able to get 1 lot that's connected to a side lot I have, but not the lot in back of me. It never comes up for sale. It's never listed for sale.
That's probably an issue that is throughout the district. I know that this has more
Right.
context, but I can recall in my community, a neighborhood had similar.
Yeah.
So that you gotta see if that's a common.
Okay.
Well,
Now the next thing we had on here was Prop N money. What was that? Do you recall what that was about?
The Prop N money, it's going
Proposal
to
in.
demolish. Yeah, proposal and dollars are going to, like the blocks that have 1 and 2 houses on it,
Yeah.
they're going to be demolished with that proposal and money, which is clearing it out even more for developers.
Mm-hmm.
So these are occupied houses are
No,
gonna be
no,
now?
vacant structure.
Okay.
Vacant structure will be cleared out with the proposal and money, which will clear up those blocks with those 1 and 2 houses on it.
wow.
Okay.
So this ties into the overall.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to make an
There was
amendment.
never any discussion or saying that these properties might have a lien because of hardest hit dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a twist. In other words,
Information about
I had never heard that. till I
Something
got
that
here.
was allegedly a help turns out to be a hindrance.
Yeah,
Oh, what a surprise.
Nobody got that I know of.
but the mayor never did tell me where them hardest hit fund dollars, if you pay it. If
Right.
you pay the lien, where the money going? He never did answer that
No,
question.
but the hardest hit fund,
That was federal
Be-
dollars.
yeah.
that was federal
Supposed
dollars
to-
that he took and turned it into
the
a
zero
loan,
interest
to a
loan.
zero interest loan. He turned that, good. The money that was supposed to be allocated for
Hardest hit.
grants, the mayor, that's where that 0% loan
So
came
like when I
from.
got that 10,000 0% loan on my house,
That
that's
was the hardest hit fund. And he turned
how
that,
that covered the interest on that
right,
loan.
he turned
Okay.
that, that's what he turned into,
grant into
a loan with the hardest hit
Yeah.
funds, because right after it came out, shortly after that was when they were going all around to everybody's meeting, giving out those applications.
Yeah, I
Remember
remember.
that?
Yep.
Backed
Remember
Filled one
that?
out.
Maybe, remember that? They were
So
like
in
little,
other words,
thick little
Okay.
packet.
If I
Little
pay
packet.
it, so in other words, if I pay the lien, it goes into the loan fund.
Exactly,
Okay.
because that's
I
where the
just
money,
wanna, I'm okay with it going there.
that's where the money, that's where the money originated from in the first
In
place.
that note, in that case, it seems like there should be a way that should be like a rotating fund or
Right,
something.
it's still
Yeah,
going
It's
on.
still, oh yeah, you can
Okay.
still,
Get
you
zero
can
interest.
still get the loan, cause I wanted to get the loan, but what stopped me from getting the loan, I don't want the contract, you have to accept their contractors. If I
Oh, I
got,
know, and they're higher priced than
right,
if you
and
went
I
out on
think,
your own
if
and
I gotta
shopped
pay
around.
you
Yes, they
back,
are.
why can't I get my own
Right,
contract?
right.
Yeah, I had a friend where it's like he always did my plumbing for me, and I'm like, you know what? I called him. Are you certified with whatever the requirement they had was?
Right,
And he's like,
right.
no. And I'm like, oh darn. Sorry, I have to get this other guy to do it.
Right,
I
but
Yeah.
hear a specific, and that's why it's good to
Yeah.
specific issues, but there's a broader issue that needs some research. And the research needs to say, when did that zero interest loan come in? Because obviously those lots, whoever lived in the house, got hardest hit fund for their house. Is that what that is? How did that
No.
work?
The
Man,
hardest
can't-
hit funds were just the funds that came from the federal government to do demolition.
So that,
That's what the funds were designed for.
so
right,
because they demolished the house with the hardest hit fund,
They put the money in the low interest loan
yep.
in order to fix up the occupied house.
okay, that's kind of, I'm
Okay,
That
I need to. We're going over the minutes.
Go ahead.
I want to make sure we get past that so we can have this discussion in order.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, but I would be one asking the why question and how.
That's
Because
good.
I like clarity.
Right. No,
In this.
No,
court,
that is fine.
No,
You
but-
gotta
Land
ask questions.
is a major
yeah,
issue.
so much
Okay.
stuff that goes on in this
All
city.
right.
You can't keep up with it.
All right.
We
I
have to
really
identify big issues.
want to make sure we get this minute thing out of the
Okay.
way.
You should
Can I
just
ask
let
a
me
second
read them
question?
straight
I'm
out.
always going to ask questions.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sandra. I should have let you do that. I was on the prop end part. Did you want to keep reading or?
Okay,
Excuse me.
let me read through these minutes so we can approve them and then we can have our discussion.
Right. Is that okay,
Okay.
Jocelyn?
Okay. Commercial structures under planning and development, community group offered it for 50,000. Land Grid Detroit says the assessed value is at 0. Great Communities Now, that should be great and not gray. It should be Great Communities Now.
GREAT. Great.
Yes.
Okay.
And Mega Evers Church, the property address is 1101. That address is incorrect.
Okay.
It's 11018, I think. But I'll give you the correct address.
I'm gonna correct that for now.
Yeah, I know it's wrong because it rolled off my head.
All right. I'm gonna make this in a different color or something so when you
Yeah.
contact me, that we'll just accept that you will be able to correct that later. So I'm gonna just make this like a different color or something. All right.
Okay. So then Karen said that the four family apartment building that she was trying to get on Glenfield, they wanted her to pay $20,000.
Oh,
The windows are out, it's boarded up, grass is high. Meanwhile, they demand community members to verify what they are doing. And a purchase on Seymour was approved. I don't know what that was.
Okay, well,
And Seymour is spelled wrong. It's Seymour.
thank you. This thing knew it was spelled wrong, but I just thought maybe it didn't know the word. Yeah, okay, thank you. Seymore. All due respects to those living in Seymour. Sorry
Which
about
is
that.
right there at the light.
Yes. Oh,
Seymour, right
okay. You're close. All right.
Approved for zoning, they have to wait 30 days. Oh, that's what her thing was approved.
Right, and I remember this
And
story.
she had to, because of COVID,
Right.
she couldn't get in. She had to wait 30 days
Oh,
for the
yeah.
papers to be filed. COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
Then when she went back, once they reopened downtown to talk to somebody, they told her that she had to refile all the stuff because her papers had expired.
right, but she couldn't do anything in the first place because of the virus.
Right. She said needs date that office closed, dates they open back up. Tentative location for a news conference, August 19th at 10:45 a.m. Flanders between Hayes and Queens, lean on them. Possible connections to response time. Many residents north of I-94 and Vice City Airport are not getting the same level of police protection as their counterparts south of I-94. Okay, then we went into unfinished business, new business reports, public comment, and then we adjourned.
Yeah, I didn't really have anything more on those areas. I think we probably did most of our commenting during that other discussion because that was a special meeting. All right. So, is there anything else on that? Anyone on this?
Okay.
Just on this issue of the minutes?
Nope, I would make a motion to accept the special meeting as amended.
Okay.
We did some amendments.
You got that, Gregory? Okay. So, Sandra Turner-Handy has made the motion. We accept the special meeting minutes as amended, and Gregory Creswell seconds the acceptance of those minutes as amended. Okay, any discussion on those minutes? Okay, if there's none, then I'm going to move to a vote. All in favor of those accepting those minutes as amended, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, and all opposed? Accepted. Okay, so now we're going to finally move. Actually, no, technically it's a roll call vote. Did you abstain just now, or were you voting also?
No, I'm listening.
Oh, did you just
I
now?
did not abstain.
You said aye?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. No, I just realized because it's a Zoom meeting, even though we're physically in person, but like there are people on Zoom also, I figured just to make sure that we have a full record of everybody who, if there is I've been doing the ayes and nays, but I just remembered that they were saying Zoom meetings had to be roll call, though technically it's face to face. So I don't know, I'm just trying to cover everything, I guess. So let me get back. I'm sorry, I'm slowing us down by side commenting.
Okay, so now what we have, now the time for the discussion and questions
Right.
around that issue.
Yeah, I think
Okay, what was
getting
the
to the main meeting here.
I wanted to get the minutes out the way, so we handled our business, now we can have our discussion.
Exactly. All those things that
What
I think Ms. Harris wanted to speak first. Go right ahead, Member Harris.
I'm always looking for what are we looking for an outcome, because it looks like that I wasn't involved in the special meeting, but the fact is, it looks like we want land justice, meaning that residents, like they said in that's documented in some of those flyers, that residents can purchase lots within, so
What is it,
front of
500
you, behind
feet now?
you, to the
Yeah.
side. But now there's a stipulation that if the land has a lien on it because of, and that's something that I know, I've never seen that in writing. We've had a lot of community meetings. A new district manager is the person who was over
Right,
the land.
he was over the lot, the
And
land
I
bank.
remember when he first came, we asked him a lot of questions because he had knowledge.
Well, he was at the meeting with the mayor.
Yeah.
And so the meeting with the mayor, my first question was, do you have a plan for land development in this community? Since there are no properties and or lots available to residents, he told me no. He told me, I said, well, if you come up with a plan, well, if you decide to come up with a plan, then we want to make sure that we're at the table before you make a plan. We want to be at the table. He said the lot and property was not available due to land speculators. He wanted to keep it out of the hands of speculators. Now, that's what he said. So everybody that was at the meeting, he told me, if residents want property, go through their neighborhood manager with the addresses, and he will make sure it gets through the land bank. They told me the property that got the lien on it, they're gonna make sure that I only gotta pay $100 for it, but I think that might have been keeping me quiet.
See, was any of this in writing? Girl,
Uh-uh.
who took notes? You
Well,
took notes, specific notes.
you know how I handle that? I'm doing it right now. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And then I left out everybody else from the city that was in the meeting. Then I left out all the community leaders that was in the meeting. All of them sent me in the stuff that they got from the meeting. Thank you so much for meeting with us. And we are so happy to work with the city, and we are glad for the support that you are giving us with the tasks listed below. And we listed out everything he said he was going to do.
It's good.
That's a good check. That's
You
good.
understand what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
we putting it in writing. So we got it on paper.
Well, it's good to have some kind of record to help them remember all that, you know,
Because it was a
to
lot of
remember.
stuff, but the idea is that he's saying that if residents want property, they could go through, he'll make sure they get it. Because he's trying to keep it out of the hand of speculators, but you don't lock up a whole community worth of property trying to keep it out of the hands of speculators. Because when residents do send in a request for property over here, and they told they're residents, so they'll give you their address and say the property in back of me. So they're not a speculator. Why can't they get the property?
Right.
All the information that you received, was it through email or was it through mail?
Which one?
All the information that you got, his quotes,
That was in a face-to-face meeting.
face to face. So okay, so it wasn't black and white. Some of it was.
No,
Those
it
who
was
showed
all
up.
face-to-face.
Oh.
Some of them wrote down whatever they talked about,
Yes.
because I let each community leader have their turn.
Gotcha.
And whatever they talked about, they took their notes.
And you had copies of that.
I had them to send in whatever the mayor said that he was gonna do on their issue. I had them send it over to me so I can put it in that thank you letter that I'm sending to him.
Could you
with
send a
all
copy of
the
that thank you
tasks
letter to
outlined.
the other members of this group so we
I
can see
will.
it as well?
Yes,
Thank you.
Of everything that he said he was gonna do, I'm gonna outline in that letter
Mhm.
and tell him thank you. And at the end of it, gonna say thank you so much for your help and assistance on these matters. Your timely help and assistance on these matters.
Okay.
But that'd
I
be a
know
good-
how to be real nice and say what I gotta say. In other words, okay.
You remember Harris?
Yeah, I was just saying then, it'll be interesting to see the whole picture and the follow-up to that. Because that, I'm just gonna say, that there's no ordinance that keeps speculators from purchasing properties in the city of Detroit. if that was the case, our neighborhoods would not look like they do.
How
Because
can
in
you?
Jefferson Chalmers, we've done a detailed research to find out about vacant houses and
Yeah.
who owns those houses. And it's everybody across the world.
Across the world. And
Isn't-
we did the
So
same
it-
thing over
Isn't
here.
any owner a potential speculator?
If they resident,
It's possible,
if they have,
possible.
But I
Can't the
wouldn't
resident
call,
be a speculator?
No, but
I
they-
wouldn't call a resident a
No.
speculator.
I certainly would.
I guess I'm not sure what that phrase means then.
Well, the way he said it, nah, I'm not putting words in his mouth, but it was outsiders coming in to buy up all the property in Detroit.
Okay, well, I mean, if you define it that way, then it's more enforceable because we know whether or not somebody's a resident of Detroit.
But my thing is, if I tell you that I want to purchase a property in back of my house,
You're a
this
resident.
is my address, this is the
Mhm.
property address,
Yeah,
and I can't get it, I'm not a speculator, so
Yeah.
why can't I get it?
Under certain circumstances, historically, speculators were seen as good person. Well, I'm sorry, a bad person, while an investor is seen as a good person.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so he got two different folks at the table.
I
He's
believe,
looking at, because I believe that he's really into the investors. And I told you guys, that's what they did over in Virginia Park. They brought in that investor from New Jersey. He got 600 parcels.
Right.
Okay, now he over there trying to change the whole name of the community
Absolutely, and that's a fight.
and not
Yeah.
doing anything with the houses.
And you can look though, if every community was able to do demographics in their own neighborhoods, you would find properties owned
I
by
did.
people all over the world, and they're able to sit on those properties for 3 years
are you getting all
and keep
this?
the property. That's important to know, right?
it's too
But
much.
look, but
So
I'm
now,
gonna
what
tell,
does that do for our
Okay.
neighborhood?
Yeah.
but let me tell you
I think we need to
something.
pause once in a while, just to figure out what do we want to put on the record about this discussion so far, just so we can refer to it
that-
later, and when we have that
say
news
that-
conference.
Sandra has had a meeting with the mayor,
I'm
and
trying.
she will send a copy of all the tasks the mayor has said will be taken care of
Right.
with north of 94.
Can you write that down, please? Yeah, we have to have some noting of this, just to kind of structure our,
Sandra met with the mayor.
yeah.
She will send us over the task
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, that's.
Wait a minute.
That part
And let me
broke down.
tell you, then the business liaison. Okay, this is how this started, because we got a business liaison, you know, we got that business liaison, Bibbin.
Oh.
That I wrote down, but I'm saying, but all this information is so much and so compelling.
We're working on,
Yeah,
What?
this records well.
two of our groups are
Hope
working
it
on
records well.
on Whittier. We're redoing
Like
the
I put
whole
that
corridor,
recording.
the business corridor.
Right.
So,
Maybe we
in
should
the
do
meeting
that
the
all
mayor
time.
had
Maybe
before,
we should do that all the time.
I do.
the meeting
All the
with the
time.
community, Bivens was in the meeting, they asked Bivens, they said, well, you need to be at the meeting.
We should stop
He said,
fighting.
oh, I know Sandra very well. And before we can get off the phone, he was texting Jenna saying, what's Sandra's phone number? Jenna said, if you know her very well, then you got her phone number.
but that-
Everybody got her phone number.
But that's how he does stuff.
Listen, and I made a point to tell the, then he asked me, he called me, said, well, I'm gonna bring two business people. His boss got wind that he wanted to bring somebody from Whittier to uplift him and say he's been over here working.
So-
His boss told him, no, you cannot bring anybody to the meeting.
Okay, so the fact is, as it relates to the land justice in this area, you're going to follow through. One, you're gonna send you've already sent a detailed email to the mayor,
No, I'm sending a detailed letter
or they're gonna send a letter.
to the mayor. I wanted it right. I wanted to go to the US mail system. I'm gonna follow it up on the email, attach it to the email, but I'm gonna let them know that a copy has been sent via the US Postal Service.
And on that, you're gonna have the other residents, their
All the
identified
community
groups
leaders are going to
sign.
list up, yep, they have to sign off on it to make sure that the task that the mayor is working on for them is being addressed.
Okay, that's just, and so you know what that serves as like a prototype for, if you're, as you're doing that and you're successful, that's gonna impact other communities in District
Yep.
4.
It will.
But I
So
say,
I will send a copy of that letter over to the CAC.
see, but up to me, if the mayor really wanted to deal with the issue of what he calls speculators getting property, then there would be an ordinance. And I said that to Spivey, there should be an ordinance that's addressing the issue of speculators coming in,
Mhm.
sitting on property for 3 years, and the residents have to watch it go down and deteriorate.
But let me tell you something. See, that same consideration is not given to residents when they purchase property.
No,
Camp Restore got 2 houses over there. They purchased the house in 2019. 2020 was COVID. So couldn't nobody get out and do no work, right?
Right.
They came back a couple of months ago and told them if they didn't do some work on those houses, they were gonna take them back. So they went and they got the work done on them, because you know people can come out now and do the work. But wasn't nobody doing no work on nothing in 2020.
Right.
Yeah.
well,
And they threatened to take the property back. Now that speculator over there in Virginia Park don't have them properties over there going on 5 years now. And they ain't took nothing back from him.
but see, that's where, and I'm trying to understand the role of CAC. Because with the, working with the city council, we need to be able to recommend that they do, because they write ordinances. They're supposed to
Right.
be proactive in writing things to address issues that the residents are bringing up.
Correct.
And so holding them to the fire, because
We
I think
have
we should
to.
look at overall impact, and land use is an issue in this district. So the picture we want is that every property is either somebody's living in it or it's being, boarded up, but it's
Mhm.
being prepared for occupancy. Every
Right.
land is owned and taken care of. We gotta start pushing
Yeah.
to right,
That would be ideal if it was
That's what we
owned by
gotta-
someone other than the land bank.
and that's the problem.
By
Yeah.
residents, people lived
But-
here, people had
Right.
businesses here.
But he tells me that they don't want to be in the real estate business. Then you need to stop holding when residents want property. You need to not be holding stuff in inventory and not putting it out there for sale to residents.
So see, there's another ordinance, and see, this is where we need to, I don't know what our city council is doing. Being.
They're
Right now,
looking
they're
at-
on vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, the
They're not-
proactive
they're
part,
looking at economics over residents, and
Well,
that's it.
property
they're
over
looking at-
people, is what we
yes,
always say,
yes.
property over people.
They're
Right.
looking
And
at economics, anything that's gonna bring money into the city, regardless of whatever impact it has on residents,
Right.
they're going
That's
for the
what
money.
that's what they do.
And that's what they're doing.
But you know what, the reality is, if we could do the math, we see that they not capturing every opportunity to make money.
No,
Because if you
they-
got people living in these houses willing to buy these lots and take care of them,
That's right.
and take care of, cut the grass so they don't have to cut it.
They already
got-
cutting it.
They got
I know it.
These residents
Yeah.
taking care of
I
their
know it.
property.
they got so much money that they can collect
Thank you.
from so many
Many
things. They
Wait a
said
minute,
the
I
city
got,
doesn't
And the
have
taxes
money.
on those lots are small, but there's so
Yeah.
many of them that if they were all owned, somebody would be
Exactly.
They
paying
would
the city
add
that
up.
If
money.
they would
Right.
add, they could add up.
See, I think those
Yeah.
I got a
issues-
resident right now, and she takes care of a property next door to her. The man live in Florida.
Of course.
She said she sent a bill to somebody at the city and told them, when y'all send out his flight ticket, send out my landscaping bill.
That's
'Cause
right.
I've been landscaping the property. I've been cutting the grass
They've
and
been cutting it.
taking care of it. So he owes me
Hmm.
for doing it. She showed
Yeah.
But
But
he
you
has,
know what, if
but
we
he
could
hasn't
take
done
those-
anything.
Right. But see, if we could take those kind of scenarios and make them into a
We're in a meeting.
proposal, we gotta put them.
We
into
have to
some
find
language.
us a champion
Yeah, you
first.
can zoom into
We
it. Just
have
go
to
to the
find us a
CAC4
champion on city.
website. Okay.
And I
Well, we
really
gotta do
think,
multiple things
Oh,
at one
we
time.
are.
and I
We
really
got-
think that we may have lost our champions. Now, I don't know if Letitia will be a champion for us when she gets on.
She will,
Oh.
in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If she's gonna be a champion when she gets on, we need to find us a champion on city council that will push this forward for an order.
Well, to me, I'm just gonna say it. You have to operate from where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm gonna take more time and understand the charter that created the CACs and the power that the CACs have.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't operate, I'm not gonna look at anybody. If you're in a position and you know, we have to operate within the power that that position gives.
Right.
And so, because I can't control, I'm learning as I get older. I cannot control everybody else, but I certainly can try.
Yes, indeed.
So that's, first of all, know what your job is. Because
Yeah.
I used to always have, I don't think we had a lot of people knew what their job was. If they did, they weren't doing it. So we gotta be more accountable.
But we have to be more accountable, but we also have to represent the residents over here in District 4, you know, with taking their issues and making sure that our city council representative is addressing those issues. We really do, you know.
Right.
Well, we're in election time now, so.
Women, that's why I'm sending my stuff to the mayor while we're still in election time,
Mm-hmm.
because I can get everything done.
Oh,
Because we're in election time.
It's true. People,
Because you're not gonna get nothing done
Then
after it's
after
over.
November,
people running for reelection definitely seem to care a lot more about
Yeah.
the voters than
Yeah.
after the
Of course they
election.
do. When
Yeah.
it's over, that's it.
that's why I'm trying to get all these things
When it's
on
over, it's
paper
business
to the
as
mayor
usual.
Boy, at a
to
certain
get them
time,
done.
I'm gonna say this to you all. I'm always gonna probably have my husband with me. Okay. And
Mhm.
he sit in the car. And I only can stay. How long are the meetings gonna be?
It's supposed to,
90.
the formal
90
ending
minutes.
time is 8:30, but we're, you know, we sometimes go later. It's actually 8:12 right now.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And one thing I want to interject here into the discussion is just keep in mind that we had, and I, you know, keep going back to past discussions here, but let me just pull this
So
up
the
here.
president is
We had-
Scotty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the secretary is
Gregory
Gregory.
Creswell.
Gregory.
And Karen Knox is our vice vice chair, but she's not here. And yeah, Washington Houston is our treasurer, and he's not here, but we don't have a treasury, so that part doesn't really seem to matter too much at the moment.
But have you been able to
Um,
contact him?
I left a
Okay.
message with him and with his business.
You know, I have
If I hang out at his business, I could probably find him, but it's kind of like I don't feel like I should have to
I
track
just-
people down.
I just
Yeah.
have an
You
issue.
shouldn't have to track them down like that.
Yes, it is recorded.
So it's recorded. Oh, I thought you was writing as you went.
Yeah,
No, he's writing
he's
the
taking
motions
notes,
You're
and stuff,
taking
yeah.
notes and.
but I'm also got it recorded.
Okay.
So I do have a concern. What do our bylaws state about the number of meetings you must attend?
The minimum number of meetings a CAC can have is 4, so we've done that. But my feeling was that we need to meet at least once a month because there's way more going on than
Nope,
4
I didn't
meetings could
ask that.
possibly. Oh, you're asking about missing meetings?
Attendance.
3,
Because
I believe.
I'm gonna say this, Scotty.
How many?
When I joined this CHC,
Mhm,
I take it very seriously.
yeah,
Otherwise, I wouldn't join if I'm not going to
right.
come here and represent the residents as I should be doing.
Yeah.
So I have a problem that I have been a member since April. I missed May
Mhm,
because I didn't have my dates yet together.
right.
But I made April, June, July, and now August. And I have not seen one of our elected officials that's supposed to be a part of the team. That's all I have to say. And we've been meeting by Zoom, and Zoom is real easy to get on.
Yes, it is. And actually, the meeting time was his preference. We're meeting at his preferred meeting time too. I'm gonna pull this up. I didn't want to have to go off and look at the ordinance during the
Well,
meeting,
no,
but I will
don't do
anyway.
it. let's put that as discussion that will be,
On the agenda of
on
the
the
next.
agenda for the next meeting.
Okay, Senator Turner Handy is put, can you email that to me as a reminder
Yeah.
as well? Okay, we're gonna add an agenda item next time around to
Is,
address absenteeism
Right,
by members.
Yeah.
Now, I will return then to, what I was gonna say.
Because it shouldn't be a token.
yeah, it's not a token thing, we're supposed to be working. This
Mhm.
is supposed to be a working.
Oh, I
group.
agree. But I don't want to get too deep in the discussion, but there's actually a reason that I would say, well, I'll leave it for another, till we actually are there. So I can make that the focus of
He
my
never,
comments.
when you left him a message, he never called you back.
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to speed up the agenda, but I asked to be able to be on the agenda before the 90 minutes is over.
Okay, well,
All
that's
right.
where I'm at with the property
All right.
issue.
What
So
I,
I'm gonna get all that over to
I
you.
know, and we have to get to the flooding too. Now, the August 19th, what I do want to make sure I understand though is what exactly are we going to be doing at 10:45 a.m. on August
We were
19th?
supposed to talk about holding a press conference,
We're supposed
but
to
we-
hold one.
right? But the thing is that we really don't have committed people, and I don't want you and me standing up there
Hmm.
with our community. We were gonna hold a press conference to talk about the availability of land over here in District 4.
Let me make this point. I don't know about my wife's appointments to see a doctor on the 19th. I have no idea. I don't know about her. All I can do is go home and look at it. If that date is open, I'll be there. If not,
Right. Well, we know your situation that you have to,
Yeah.
you have issues, medical issues that have to be attended to.
So what you were saying that August the 19th is going to be a press conference and the topic
Yeah,
is
10:45, and we're supposed to be addressing the issue that we've been discussing
Right.
this time and last time in the special meeting.
My thing
But I'm
is,
just looking for
about the
some
land
structure
use.
to it. So if I put out a news
Right.
release about it, what is it going to say?
my whole thing is that I would like for us to take a moment, if we can push it back to September. That way we can get enough community members that have been trying to get land and have not been able to do that, to be in the press conference. I'd rather it not just be us standing there, but we have
Right.
community in back
Oh,
of
no.
us.
Yeah,
that
I
have been-
agree.
You
I agree
need-
that
Okay.
otherwise
you
it'll
need
be
numbers.
lame.
Yes,
Okay, now
It'll
We
be
need
lame
numbers.
if it's not well attended.
okay,
It'll be, you need numbers.
okay, would
So
you,
you want to show that you tried. You got to show, like he's putting forth the written document.
Right.
And then to see what the outcome is. It's got, got to wait.
I think the media appreciates people who are prepared.
yes.
Yeah.
are you looking for a date? I understand in September.
You give us a date that you're available.
Well, that's too far ahead. In September, I can't.
Okay.
There were-
It's too far ahead.
Yes,
Okay.
man, too far ahead. Okay, would you prefer like a AM or PM? Or say PM
Like
like
10
1
o'clock is a good time.
10 a.m.?
10 a.m. is a good time.
Yeah.
Because 11 o'clock news come on.
Would you want it to be before or after our September 13th meeting?
Well, that's up to all of us. What do
Well,
all of
and
us
I guess what I'm asking is if we're going to push it later, is any, because I was asking for people to send me stuff in writing and by email, and I did not receive anything since the 26th. And actually, before the 26th, I had a similar request and did not. So I guess what I'm asking is anything happening between now and a September date that's earlier than our September 13th meeting. And I'm inclined to think nothing will.
But see, that gives, what I'm saying is that gives me time to, like the 9th Community Relations Council meeting, to
Yeah.
let residents know that if they've been trying to buy property, to
Mhm.
please get with me because we're going to hold this press conference. And we can get Jay Henderson to do the same thing over there on the
Okay.
other side. so we can get residential support
Well,
behind
and
it.
that, now, when is your, what date is
Mine
the,
is the first Thursday of the month.
so that will be, and
And I
actually, I
think-
want to go to that anyway, I just forgot the last one,
Yeah, it's the first Thursday of the month. And
September
the fifth
2nd.
is the first
Wednesday.
Wednesday of the month.
Oh, okay, so we're down there on the 1 and 2 then. It's 1 and 2.
Okay, so you
So
want-
5th is on the 1st and 9th is on the 2nd.
So you want it on Flanders between Hayes and Queen?
We were gonna have it in front of the two properties,
Got you,
that got the lien on it.
got you. Okay, so you still want it, at that site, but in September.
We may still want it at that site, but the reason I'm saying it is because I'm a member of the
Flanders
CAC.
between Hayes and Queen.
And see, the mayor, at this point, he's, a lot of things that I may ask, he may do just to get me to shut up.
Yeah.
But I need those residents that are out there really, because I know I can bob and weave and get what I want. I hate to say it, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
residents out there trying to get this property that don't know somebody that downtown. Don't know how to maneuver through the system to
Yeah.
get it. Don't know how to call the
And
mayor
don't know
out
how
on
to
the
play the
carpet
game.
right, to get
They
it.
just don't.
You know,
Right.
but they need this property. They need to be able to get this property. You know, I got a neighbor sitting over here on Seymour, and the mayor said that any vacant structures that were up for demolition that sat between two occupied houses would come down first. That property has not come down yet. Okay, so I gave the mayor her address to get that property down in between her. You know, I mean, it's things like that. We got residents that are trying to maintain their communities with this property, and the city is not supporting them in their efforts, and that's
right.
my concern.
And they're getting
You
jerked
know,
around.
These people are taking care of property that belongs to the city, but then as soon as they try to get the property, the city's blocking them.
Yeah.
You know, Karen takes care of that property over there, you know, and she can't even get it.
You know, I don't know how we're gonna do this, but here's a challenge. I'm just gonna say this, because when they were talking CAC, when the Charter Commission was talking CAC, and I'm old citizen district council,
I used to be on the old one, yeah.
is this is a big area of District 4. And how are the issues of the various communities that are gonna get addressed at the CAC? So I don't know, so how, it's like we need to identify a theme, a topic like land use throughout the district. And then we need to, I mean, because it can't be just one neighborhood, you know, and then the other, because some look,
Would you prefer one central location for the monthly meetings?
I'm not even talking about.
No,
me.
no.
See, I'm not,
No, where it would be easier
I'm not
for
even
the
talking,
budget. Okay.
I'm
We have
thinking,
to
God,
rotate
it's
locations.
not meeting location. I'm talking about how to address issues
Yeah.
affecting residents. And it's gonna be so much
Yeah.
until we have to look maybe at date,
Yeah.
land,
Mhm.
use in
First,
District 4.
right.
And we touch it, I know how my neighbors, they like, well, what you in there, what are you all doing? What are you all accomplishing?
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't just care about accomplishing a whole lot of meetings.
Right,
Okay.
right, exactly.
So if the topic is land,
Yeah.
and then we can look at it, 'cause I need to know too, I'm just asking my question. Because you naming people, I'm not familiar with area, I know Zelda, I met you,
Mhm.
I just met you. I know Zelda's in the Morningside area.
And that's the
That's
good
the
thing is that we are kind of
And
spread
we're
out.
here in this area,
I'm in the Denby community, Maple Ridge, and my
Playfield.
community group actually represents all the way up to 8 Mile.
and then where is your community? Mr. Criswell,
I mean, Charles Outer Drive there.
Chalmers Outer Drive,
And Karen Knox is in Eden Garden, the airport area.
in the airport. Okay.
So we are really represented.
That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Pretty
see,
spread
if
out.
there
of
was
the
a
district.
if there was a simple little flyer that said the members and what areas they are, that would help the residents to know that
To know that
they're
they are represented.
that they're represented.
Yeah.
And because you can't cover everything to me, the
Right.
agenda needs to have a broad one land, but then issues specific to each area. And because each area's got.
Got that same problem in some kind of instance.
Right.
Yeah.
So
They
it
do.
will have some continuity and some clarity, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we definitely don't want to operate, we want to operate as a CAC representing the whole district. This is
Yeah.
all.
And I like that. I like the idea that the residents need to know that various areas are represented and not just one area, that the CAC is overloaded with just one area of people.
Yeah. Now, is your motion to change the date of the press conference seconded?
Oh,
No.
Everything
To
should be
be-
based on being prepared.
Yeah, because we have to be.
Are you seconding it?
September.
Second it for me.
I second it.
Okay, now it is seconded.
Okay.
Because I realized I was
Yeah,
gonna say we have a motion on the
we
table,
have
but
to
then my
be-
next thought was,
have to be
do we?
prepared. I'm not
Okay.
doing a press conference if we don't have the support of the community behind us.
Right.
And so when it comes to, I don't know, Scotty, you moving on?
No, I want to resolve this matter of that date.
okay.
And what we're gonna do about this press conference thing, and then I do want to get into the
You do a
flooding.
tentative date.
Okay,
Let's
yeah.
do a tentative date of,
September.
The meeting is the 14th, so it's after the meeting.
after that meeting. So let's do, our meeting is on a Monday, let's do a tentative date for, say, that Friday morning or Thursday morning.
I know I'm available Friday.
Okay, I'm available Friday mornings always. I don't book.
Yeah, the
meetings.
other date, it's a mix up, but,
Okay, Friday, September,
okay, that, if you want to put it after the next, CAC meeting, that would put it to Friday, September 17th.
okay.
Yeah,
Which is a good day. That's
So what day
it's
was
my
that?
late mother's
The 17th.
birthday.
Okay, same,
That's my late sister's
Okay.
I'm
birthday.
trying to think what I have to do on the
Okay,
17th, but
same-
hopefully it won't conflict.
same time, 10 a.m. 10:45.
10 a.m. would be our tentative time.
Okay, yeah, mark
These
that
are all
down.
tentative.
I'm just wondering why I think I have something on the
September
17th.
17th, Friday,
Okay.
10 a.m.
Okay.
Same site.
Yeah, I gotta remember. Between now and that next meeting, I gotta look and see what the heck I put on my calendar for the 17th. I don't have it with me.
Well, it's tentative, Scotty, so if you.
But
need to-
it may not be an issue, because it might be something I'm doing at night on the 17th or something instead of 10 a.m. on the 17th.
Then we have another issue to discuss before we adjourn.
The flooding.
Yes,
flooding.
I'm just gonna introduce it because I would like to
Miss-
be on the agenda for the next time.
Okay,
Coordinating, communication, getting
And
things done
resources.
about flooding, right? Is that some of, basically, getting the proper action taken care of on flooding? Or I'll let you define it.
You said coordination of
Let me
resources and
just say what
information.
I'm saying.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I do have to finish up the thing about this date. So there's a motion to set a tentative, to table. We are not gonna, in other words, the motion, if it passes, will mean that we will definitely not, because it will be, on this date here, we will definitely not be doing, a press conference on the 19th, and I'm trying to,
10:45.
at 10:45, but rather we will, tentatively have it at 10 a.m. on September 17th.
Friday, 10.
I move that we accept that
Second,
date.
second.
Is there any further discussion on this, or can we go to a vote? Okay, there being no objection, we'll go to a vote. I vote yes, and
Aye.
Sandra votes yes, and you voted yes. Okay, all four voted yes. Okay, so we will now go to discussion, and I'll just hand the floor over to Jocelyn Harris, since she put the item on the agenda, and hear her insights on this.
I would like, I'm just gonna introduce it and then next time bring some data and more information. But the fact is that in District 4, well, I only know about this.
Yeah,
Reality
I'm
is
in District
flooding.
4, I
There was a
flooded.
flood, there's flooding in other areas too, on the
Yeah.
west side of town.
Yeah,
And so the reality is that that has affected the residents who were flooded. And those numbers and all of that, I'm just giving a broad brush because I live in Jeff Chalmers down by the river.
mhm.
But the reality is that how our city and our officials have responded is dismal, at least, okay? And the reality is that often, I don't know, you all probably do the same thing. Because we have such poor leadership, we find ourselves as citizens sponsoring things that our elected officials should do.
Right,
So
yeah,
because our elected official was absent, everybody came to my house. It rained, we thought we was gonna be able to be outside, but we ended up in my living room, 25 people. And that was that week of the flooding. And so then there was other people who were running for office. Letitia was there, Jeffrey, which I'm not Jeffrey, what's his name? Adams, dog gave me another name.
Anthony Adams.
Anthony Adams was there. And really Anthony Adams and Russ Ballant were our key speakers because they had the most institutional knowledge
yeah,
about
because Russ used to work for
and
the water.
then we had
Mm.
Miss Mary Lloyd, who everybody needs to know. We've had 4 floods in the area. She's always the one who gets the real volunteers who are prepared physically and with the equipment to come in and get us out of the danger zone.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's what I do over
If,
here.
yeah, well, she gets people from all over the country.
Mhm.
If it wasn't for her, many of our residents would be sick because we know what Mo does. And I'm
Right,
telling you that
right.
you drove to the area, you still see people putting stuff out.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
tells you they couldn't get it out their basement.
Yeah, I had to do my seniors over here. I had
People
to
would,
do
you
that.
need to hook up with Miss Mary Lloyd because she gets
Mary Lloyd.
people coming in with, I mean, they are veterans that want to stay active. So they come in, they pull everything out, they cut all the drywall out, they come back and clean and sanitize. And they're doing this all over the country, but without them, we've been in trouble.
And see,
So-
we have Camp Restore over here, which brings in volunteers from across the country that originated with Hurricane Katrina.
Okay,
So every summer we have those volunteers, and that's what I used over here
right.
to clean out our residents.
It's been a week thing in Jeff Chalmers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
And the reality is that we put our heads together and we identify how we can get out of water.
right.
So all the numbers from this, and it started with the water, what's that, Gary Brown and all of that.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
We went to that, now we up to 4, just so you all know. We go to the water thing, we go to GSW, the application's supposed to be in 45 days. Now Letitia's gonna put in a question, because you know how they're saying that the flood happened on the 25th? Well, we all know we woke up in the middle of the night, that was the morning of the 26th.
Sick.
Which
That's
would
right.
give us one more day to make
Yeah.
that 45 days. So the reality is most everybody hopefully have got the GSW.
I didn't put mine in.
But women just finished. Then we put in our insurance company, those who had insurance. And we need to talk about that too as a CAC, because there's some insurance companies and there's some,
If you don't have the
rider that
additional,
people-
right, if you don't have the rider for
Right.
flooding,
We're trying,
you're not getting paid for your insurance.
but the reality,
Right,
but-
right.
okay. But what it is that we've had a lot of discussion comparing notes on what really happened, because a lot of times there's whatever. So anyhow.
USA
water
Insurance Company. Now
the
go to
insurance, Then we went
the,
to
to,
FEMA, and
No.
FEMA said, grow light. Wait a minute, let me finish, please.
okay,
If you can critique it, don't get
Okay.
yelled at. I try not to do
only,
that to other people.
I know.
I'm trying. I know I'd be so excited too.
Only because they gave us all these things, people we had to go through, so, yeah.
So I'm just saying. So the insurance and then the Great Lakes. So tonight that Great Lakes is supposed to be due, according to what they said in an email. And that's my question to you all. in the other communities? Did you all get this email, extensive email?
I didn't, if it was not
They're not
for,
consistent.
About
if it
what?
was not for
What
the
was it?
district
Inconsistency.
manager,
What was it for?
if it was not for the district manager, I would have never known that we needed to submit to the Great Lakes Water Authority.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then we
Yeah,
got
Rodney
FEMA,
Lickens told us quite a lot.
we
Yeah.
got FEMA, but then you got the SBA.
But
Right.
wait a minute. You go through FEMA, well, I was gonna say, I was just trying to put it out there and then compare notes. So everybody knows, you go through the FEMA thing, you get denied, then you keep pushing. Okay, and so then they tell you SBA.
Right.
Okay, and most of the people I know don't want a loan. Okay,
Right.
but there are some who see it, if it's a zero interest loan, it might be to my benefit. So
Right.
everybody's making their own individual decisions. But the challenge that we're having is timely information with leadership. We don't really have our city council person, where is he now?
Somewhere sitting down and keeping his mouth
I
shut.
called the city
He's
council
probably
office.
I've been
someplace
calling
with
them-
a
I've been
candle, with a candle.
This is
I've
what I
been
did.
calling
I
them
called
for,
on behalf
a
of the
month.
group, I called
I ain't got a
Spivey's
return call.
office.
And I
talked to
called the
Keith
girls. I
Jones.
ain't got a return
Keith
call.
Jones
He's sitting
informed me that
there
the
with
people that are on the
candle
staff
praying.
are not vaccinated, and they cannot force them to get vaccinated. Therefore, they're all on Zoom, and they cannot be forced to go out into the community and have.
Well, they should answer the telephone.
By the charter,
Please
him
should
or his
take them off the
representative are
payroll.
required to be at this meeting.
Please.
I know, but the charter,
Right.
I'm saying we
He's
need.
not
if
following
they're
it
How
not
is
anyway.
the
gonna
charter?
work,
No, he wasn't
they
following
need to
it,
be off the payroll.
period.
I would
Anyway.
think
Listen,
something
at
in the
least
charter-
answer
Is
the
it gonna
telephone.
affect
That's
But
my
I
whole
hope the
thing.
charter
the,
address the
the
issue
CAC
of
negatively?
people that are elected to
His
work
lack of
and they are
attendance?
not doing
No.
their job.
Period.
Because they're supposed to be
charter.
at this meeting.
the current charter is what creates the CAC.
Okay, so, but I'm saying, you know, with the proposal.
Proposal P, which is now a moot point, would have strengthened the CAC.
Right.
But
So they don't even answer the
So the
telephone.
next,
how
the
is it
next
going
meeting,
to
maybe we can
impact
compare notes across the districts.
Well,
That's
it's
what
lost,
our
so
information-
it'll have no impact at
Of
all.
our elected
Okay.
officials, because I called.
That,
right
that
down the
vote,
chain.
that
We went, in our meeting, we went all
the
way
no
down.
vote
We
on
spent all
proposal
of
P
theirs.
means the current
They
charter
come,
is our
right on
charter
down the list.
for, and
So
that,
we
this
can
part
give
I'm a
them
little
update as to
unclear
who
from.
responded and
Either
how they responded.
16 years starting on
Can we do that,
2018 or
Scotty?
16 years starting 2012. I gotta double
Because
check
that
when
tells
it
us
started.
Scotty.
I'm sorry.
Can we put the flooding on the agenda for the next meeting?
Absolutely.
We're gonna bring in some
And-
data and stuff.
Okay.
And each of you commit to sending me an email reminding me to put it on the agenda. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, this is, 'cause
Yes,
it's
I
way,
got
that
it.
way I have a log of
Right.
right.
what I'm doing better than trying to, because right now everything's clear as day. And then like I
But
get
my
home and
question,
it's like, what did I say I would do?
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be facetious, but it looks like you're doing a whole lot.
Yes.
That's why I asked the question, who's the secretary? Who's the president? Who's the this? Because, and then you're running for office.
But you don't have, it wasn't even a secretary, you're the secretary.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, he was absent, but he was with cause and he informed us, which
Please say
is, it's
secretary.
understandable. It
No,
isn't,
he
it
was
is,
at the last
Right,
meeting,
right.
at the park.
I'm not
Oh, yeah.
saying,
But-
I'm not trying to bring check on him about writing and all that. But,
But, yeah, she talking about you
Spread out
making the
the work.
agenda, sending out all the information and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
That's supposed to be in the hands of someone else.
Oh, I see. I should delegate better.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
I
you
would
for
think
Yeah.
so.
the
You
suggestion.
can't
no.
keep doing it all and run the meeting. Cause see, you run the meeting, but then you over here typing stuff in and making notes and all that. See, you ain't supposed to be doing all that.
Good point.
Okay.
No, I mean, really, the secretary's supposed to maintain the minutes. The agenda, you know, do all that. You can get your assistant, get a recording.
That's right.
and-
That's why you should have a recording and a
That's
correspondence.
what I like. That's old school right there, but it
Yeah.
works.
Thank you.
It
Because
works.
it is a lot on the
Do
secretary.
you need to go right now?
I do see.
Yeah, her husband
Like-
Is there an objection to making a vote to adjourn while we actually have a quorum?
Yeah, okay, let's make a.
We can still keep talking if
I'll
you'd
make
like.
a motion
Right.
to adjourn the August 9th CAC District 4 meeting.
Second.
Nice, okay.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Opposed?
Thank you.
All right,
I'll
Jackie.
probably, next time you might not come, but this time. I'm going.
That's all right.
Thank you very much for
That's all
coming.
right.
I take your tips at your heart.
I'm not trying to be mean.
That's
No,
it.
no, no, thank you.
I didn't,
Tell the
Thank
community
you.
I didn't take it as.
Oh,
I take it as
forgot
helpful.
about that. I'm
Me
sorry.
too.
You're very helpful.
Well, I'm
Okay.
going anyway, cause I think the mosquitoes
All
trying to
right.
get me.
And this would normally be community comments, but I think the community is all here. This is just at this point, no one that, Ms. Hamilton left,
Yeah,
Okay,
I gotta
Okay.
go too.
So are
which
we
I don't
leaving?
blame her.
yeah,
But,
I'm sorry.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
We're out.
yeah. Get your stuff. You got all your stuff?
Yeah, because